Hey friends, welcome back to Castro Valley News Live, episode 12. If you missed that, I was just looking at the stream here. Something went kind of wild with the time there. Welcome back, friends, to Castro Valley News Live number 12, our weekly foray into live chat online. Hope everybody's doing well. We are still, for the most part, sheltering in place. I think we're in phase 2 of things opening up. And we've got ourselves a nice little heat wave going on here. I heard on the news that some temperature records were broke today. It's pretty brutal out there. And hope everybody's staying cool. And with the shelter in place, something that kind of crossed my mind earlier today, there aren't as many options for folks to find locations to cool down. And someone's mentioning, yes, you have a black screen because there's no video here. The camera's covered up. It's just audio. So if you're shocked or wondering why you're not seeing anything, this is talk only. We're only doing voice for this. Maybe someday in the future we'll do video, but I think if you saw me here blathering, it would probably just distract from the conversation. So kind of the concept here is kind of similar to live talk radio, but only live talk on Facebook. So thank you for your patience, and I am in appreciation of your understanding that we're just doing audio here. But with the shelter in place, there's less options for places to go to cool down. And as I just said that, my air conditioner kicked in. But the library's closed. But actually what is cool is the library is, Angela, yes, it's hotter than Hades. Hope you're doing well, Angela. Angela's a good Castro Valley people. Thanks for commenting, Angela. The library is doing pickup only for requested items, which is really cool. We posted something on the page about that. As a library patron and someone who used to work at the Castro Valley Library, the old library, it's something that I miss quite a bit, just being able to go into the library. And of course, almost any time you go into the library or Safeway, you see your neighbors and your friends. So, but yeah, it's just the options of going places to cool down are just very limited. So hopefully everybody's doing well in this heat, and everyone is healthy. Someone said power is out on your street. What street would that be? And hopefully you contact PG&E to see what's going on. I think there was a transformer that blew up in San Ramon last night. And during a heat wave, that's unfortunate. Someone said San Jose is opening up some public libraries as cooling places. Stole my thunder. That's exactly what I was thinking, that the library was, our library here was one of those go-to places to cool down when it's hot. Another place is the mall, and I don't think many of the malls are open. But anyways, again, I hope everyone is staying cool and healthy during this shelter in place that is continuing. Let me just mention this really quick. Our moderator will post something up for this. We have a membership option to help support what we do. It's not a lot of money, but if you throw a couple bucks our way, we would be eternally grateful, and you would allow us to continue doing what we do here at Castro Valley News. Members get free archives of all of our videos, magazines, and these live talk shows. as well as free magazine delivery and special group access. And the added bonus is you support local journalism and local news, which would be fantastic and greatly appreciated. Another thing that is kind of self-promotion, and I apologize for doing this, but it's kind of something that we have to do. If you are a business owner, or if you have a service in town and you would like to sponsor this show, shoot us an email at castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. And I will be repeating that email a couple more times because there's some other things that I was going to mention that include that email address. But again, if you own a business and you're looking to reach more folks in town and get some exposure through the live show, shoot us an email and we'll see what we can do for you. The ads are not free, but they're not exorbitantly priced. Again, castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. And as you know, there are a lot of eyes that cross our page. So it'd be a great opportunity for you to promote your business on Castro Valley News, castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. And enough self-promotion there. Thank you for your patience with that. Castro Valley High graduation is May 29th, which is this Thursday, this Friday. It's this week, end of this week. And we still are doing the senior spotlights. Those are free. I think we've done 170, 180. We've done a lot of them. And it's something that we are proud of, being able to give these young men and women some well-deserved recognition during this weird time where it seems like, I can't say all, but I'm imagining that most of the graduation events and ceremonies have been canceled due to the pandemic. So if you are a parent, or if you know someone who is a parent, or if you are if you know a senior from Castro Valley High, we've also done San Leandro High, we've done Hayward High, we did Moreau, we've done, we've done most of the local high schools. So if you know or related or a parent of a graduating senior, feel free to send us a candid photo of the senior. Please include the first and last name of the senior and a message to the senior, and we will post that up for free on the page. And again, you can send all of that information to Castro Valley Television, that's all spelled out, @gmail.com. One more time, Castro Valley Television @gmail.com. And we will definitely get your senior spotlight posted up on the page. That's really been, it's been a lot of fun to see all of the messages and the photos of the seniors. And there have actually been a lot of other people from the community who have commented and sent in messages saying how much they like seeing the seniors. And a lot of people, some people work at the school district who have seen some of these kids as they've grown up, and fellow parents who have also have seen these kids grow up. So please feel free to send those in, and even if they come in after graduation, we'll still post them up. We can't say no. One last thing that will include that email is I still have 10 mailers here with free magazines of the most current, the most recent edition of the Castro Valley News magazine. So feel free, again, that email address, send us your mailing address, and we will send you not one, but 3 of the magazines. And the only caveats that we have with this is, please, due to the price of postage, we're only sending them to Castro Valley addresses. And the other caveat is, like I said, we were sending you 3, so please keep 1 edition for yourself and then share 2 with your neighbors or friends if you can. That would be great, because we have a couple here that we would like to get to you so that you can enjoy them and read them. And yes. So getting back to those three things that include the address, the memberships, our moderator will post on the thread the link for you to go ahead and if you would like to support us in any level, it's a couple bucks. That link will be in the thread. And also, if you're a business and you'd like to support us with an ad on the show here, castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. Senior spotlights, again, we love to see those. We love sharing those. And also the free magazines. Just last week, I think I sent out like 25 of them, or no, maybe about 20. But the response was pretty quick with that, and that was fantastic. Due to a lot of businesses being closed, this run of our magazine, when they were printed, we ended up with some extra copies. So we would love to get those into your hands and in the hands of your neighbors for free. Like I said, please just Castro Valley addresses only. And again, we'll send you 3. Keep 1 for yourself and share 2 with your neighbors. Something that I've kind of I mentioned during every time we talk here, the progress at the Dollar Tree. They are working on that like crazy now that construction regulations as part of the shelter in place have changed, and they're allowed to work on that location again. They are busy in there. I see them every morning. They are working it. Personally, I am kind of excited to have a Dollar Tree in Castro Valley. I know there's some people who think that there's a stigma attached to them. I don't particularly agree with that. Everyone's got their right to feel a certain way about that, but it doesn't resonate with me. Someone else is saying that power is out in the Barlow area, so I don't know what's going on with the power out. Yeah, my train of thought just totally got derailed. I'm sorry. We're talking about the Dollar Tree, and I'm excited because they're working on it. Laura is from Tracy. How are you doing? Good to have you on the show. Again, Angela said their Castro Valley grad just graduated college. Yep, no ceremonies for them. Angela, if you want, send us a photo of your grad, because we had a couple college grads as well. I'm pretty sure we had one from Cal State. I want to say Cal State Hayward, but they renamed it Cal State East Bay. And I think there was another one from Santa Barbara. So feel free to send us photos of your grads from college as well. I should have mentioned that before, but we will post those as well. And we can't say no to these young folks who, like I said already, are missing so much stuff. Lee says that she has a portable AC unit, no central AC, set up in the living room. It's been on all day, and it is just it's on fire out there. Oh, there you go. Posted up is, and our moderator is Johnny on the spot. He is great. You can go ahead and call 1-800-743-5002 to report power outages to PG&E. We have a caller here, and this is Castro Valley News.
This is Chris Carr. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, Chris, how are you?
All right, thank you.
So this is Chris Carr, who is the gentleman who, well, you tell me what happened and how it came about.
So, first of all, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. We have a graduating senior from Castro Valley High, and we have a graduating 8th grader from Canyon Middle School. My wife, Robin, Reuben, and I have lived here in the community for 17 years. And you can imagine, you got a 17-year-old graduating senior and a 14-year-old graduating 8th grader that, losing the last half of your graduating year, just a few weeks into it is kind of a bit of a pill to swallow. And so, our family, much like many other families here in Castro Valley, we spent the first few weeks in shelter in place, kind of wallowing about a bit, trying to figure out how to find a rhythm, staying busy with work as best you possibly can, keeping the kids busy with schoolwork, creating some kind of schedule so that, everybody's on track and you don't have the opportunity to think too much. Because frankly, when you don't have the opportunity to be in the community and socialize with people that you see on a day in, day out basis, you tend to kind of, the potential for you to certainly there. So staying busy is the key, in my opinion. And so that's really where the genesis was thinking about how we can, keep ourselves busy, how we can pay respect to the kids in our household. And I happen to play a minor role in the Castro Valley High School Parent-Teacher-Student Association, and got invited to a brainstorming session about a month or so ago with a number of folks that are involved at the high school, led by Principal Blaine Torpy. In that brainstorming session, there were a number of ideas that were kicked about. There was a parade that was discussed, and then there was a reverse parade, signs and banners, and there were a number of different things that were ideas that were put forward. And I don't know enough about the ins and outs of how money gets spent in a public institution like Castro Valley High or any other Castro Valley Unified School District campus. But as you can imagine, there are fairly strict rules about what you can and can't do with money that's available to you. And so, I had suggested maybe we could have banners printed, and strung along the boulevard. There is a spot on the boulevard where you can string a banner from one side of the street to the other. Turns out that's not functioning at this point, and at some point it will be. But at any rate, we kind of banged our heads against the wall for a bit, trying to figure out how we could make it happen. And it came to pass that really the school district really wasn't in a position to do much of anything. And not that they didn't want to, because they certainly did, but they were, they're a bit handcuffed by protocol and by procedure and policy. And that's when I said, well, then maybe we should do something in a private fashion. And I know a few people in the community, Todd Englund, who's the president of Castro Valley Rotary, and Ashley Strasburg, who is the director of the Eden Area Chamber of Commerce. And I just picked up the phone and reached out to each one of them, and I said, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and from your perspective, how can we make it happen? And, I was on a Rotary call this afternoon, and I said, Todd and Ashley, for that matter, too, they were able to ask the right questions of the right people at the right time to get certain things done. Because we're unincorporated Alameda County, we don't fall into the same category as an incorporated or a city would. We can't go to a council necessarily like you would, where there's a mayor and a city manager and that kind of a situation. We have to figure out how to navigate the waterways from a county standpoint, and there's a lot more steps involved. I don't want to say bureaucracy, because reality is it is what it is, right?
Right.
The truth is that, we are unincorporated Alameda County. We have to abide by the rules and regulations that are set down by the county. And so Ashley Strasburg was absolutely instrumental in determining who the people were that we could be in touch with. She made an introduction to somebody who I've known in the community for a number of years through Castro Valley Little League. I was involved in that organization for a number of years. An individual by the name of Bibi Duarte, who was absolutely instrumental in the design and the coordination of the printing of these flags. If it wasn't for her, I guarantee this wouldn't have happened. And to be honest, I could say the exact same thing about both Todd England of Castro Valley Rotary and Ashley Strasburg Eden Area Chamber. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Ashley was able to identify who we needed to speak to from a permitting standpoint, and was able to gather the documentation necessary. And the Rotary has an insurance rider that they were gracious enough to extend to us in order to make this happen. And so the combination of that insurance rider and the necessary documentation and the individuals that were responsible for processing it really made it happen. And to be honest, up until about a week and a half ago, I wasn't convinced it was going to happen. And we took a leap of faith, and one thing leads to another, and here we are. I mean, and I could go one step further, because there were probably another 10 or so donors, people that brought money to the table that helped, offset the costs associated with it. It was almost a couple $1,000 when it was all said and done.
And these are the banners on the boulevard honoring the graduates.
That's right. Yeah. So, Blaine Torpy, who's the principal at Castro Valley High, introduced me to a concept in that meeting where we were brainstorming the concept being equity. And I hadn't really considered it. Remember, I started the conversation with, it's my household that I was primarily concerned with initially, because we have a graduating senior and a graduating 8th grader. But there's 16 campuses, public schools, 14 campuses, public schools here in the Castro Valley area, and two private schools. And so when you think about, whether it's elementary or middle school or high school, you've got graduating 5th graders that are going to be promoted into middle school. You've got graduating 8th graders that are going to be promoted into high school, and you've got graduating seniors that are crossing the threshold into adulthood, whether it be continuing their education, entering the workforce, going on in the military or active service, or continuing in a trade school, etc. I mean, you've got thousands of children, young adults, that are making this transition, and really, they got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
To lose out on, the spring dances, whether it's prom or 8th grade dance, the graduation ceremonies, grad nights, spending time with friends and family celebrating accomplishment. This broke my heart, to be perfectly honest with you. Watching my children go through, particularly the graduating senior, lost opportunity, missed chances, whatever you want to call it. I just couldn't stand by and let it happen. I felt like I had to do something, for these kids. And again, it was certainly not a sole effort. There were many hands in this, and that whether it's documentation, paperwork, insurance, all 4 of us spent time Sunday in the morning and late afternoon. It was so dang hot out there this weekend, but stringing those things along the light poles.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, I'm so pleased with the way it turned out. Initially, I wasn't super happy with it, but it's quite honestly, really a very fortunate thing the way that it showed up, the way that it turned out. Like, the flag, the way they were designed, and the way that they were able to be hung there, it couldn't have worked out any better than it did, in my opinion. Have you had a chance to see them? I
did. I've seen them. They look great. And touching on some of the people that you said were involved, I will toot these people's horns as well. Blaine Torpy is fantastic. He is such an awesome guy. Todd Anglin I can't say enough about Todd. I know Bibi Duarte personally. She's great. Ashley at the chamber, Ashley Strasburg at the chamber is wonderful. Um, yeah, you you kind of fell into a great team there. So they look
Well,
fantastic.
yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough. My business is based here in the Castro Valley Marketplace, and I am an active board member with the Central County Marketing Group, which is a marketing association that serves the local real estate community, and that includes realtors and lenders and accountants and marketing people and construction folk and home inspectors and home warranty people and title. And there's about 25, maybe even close to 30 different types of businesses that are supported through this marketing group, and have met the two other people besides Bibi and I have known each other for a couple of years, probably 10 years, maybe a little less, because of the work that we did in Little League. But Ashley is an active, obviously she's director of the chamber, but is an active member of our marketing group, and Todd is also as well. And so having, worked with them over the last year or so, watched what abilities they have, where their connections are. Ashley's work along with Meet the Street for the light parade this last year. I think it was Meet the Street that was the one of the promoters. I was blown away at how robust the light parade was this past year.
That was huge.
That I really felt like our community grew up. Like we had an amazing showing. We've been going down there for the light parade for a few years now, and I haven't seen more people on the street than I did last year. And so that's really a tip of the cap to her. And Todd's work with the Rotary recently, and the salute to Eden Area Heroes and
that was
first
great.
line responders. And again, he was supported by a tremendous amount of high quality human beings as well. Brian Santoni, the Alameda County Fire Chief Information Officer, his work in pulling that off was amazing.
Yeah, that was a fantastic event.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel like having the opportunity to be shoulder to shoulder with these people is, I couldn't be keeping better company in my opinion.
Yeah, there's some great folks. So how many of the flags are there, and where are they located? Where on the boulevard are they?
Yeah, so we ordered 30, and at Bibi's direction, and I think she was probably right, she said, don't put them all up. So we put 28 out, and we held 2 back, because 1 or 2 might go missing. I'm hoping that is the case, but it won't surprise me. So there's 28 of them, and they're on opposite sides of the street as you move your way east to west or west to east, as the case may be, on Castro Valley Boulevard, from San Miguel to Redwood Road. And we've hung them vertically on the light standards in a way that they're able to see them from the street. As you travel up and down, they're white. They're white in background, and they've got, as you said, the 16 public schools and 2 private school campuses logos on them, along with large black letters that say "Congratulations, graduates."
That's great. Especially, go ahead.
No, especially go ahead.
No, I was just saying, especially like we said already during this time where it seems like just about everything has just been canceled for all of these kids.
Yeah, we had really hoped, and we really had hoped that we would be able to figure out something, somehow, some way, before many of these. I mean, there's 720 students in the 721 students in the graduating class at Castro Valley High.
Wow.
Those kids are going to get flung to the 4 winds. I mean, they're going to go in every direction. Some are some are going to high-power Ivy League schools. Some are going to high-power University of California programs here in the state. Others are going to be at community colleges. Some may decide that they're going to take a gap year. Others are going to join the military. Others are going to join trade programs. They're going to be going in a million directions. And the opportunity to celebrate them is now.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, it turned out great. As soon as I heard about it, I needed to reach out to you, and I knew someone had mentioned the name, and I knew it was you because you had sent me the profile of your son for the senior spotlight.
Yeah, right. Yeah. By the way, thank you for doing that. That's been really amazing to watch, and we get to see some of the stories and to read about some of these kids. I'm hopeful that we'll continue to see more and more of them as coming days pass. There's at least 721 stories there, maybe a couple more depending on who you talk to in that group.
Yeah, wow. Well, I think we've only gone through maybe 170, 180 maybe.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm hopeful that we'll get, hopefully we'll get more, but, not everybody's willing to put it out there, right?
Yeah, and I understand that. Personal information is sensitive, and I respect that. But yeah, thank you so much. Things like this just make and people like you who step up and give of yourself and the other volunteers just make this community so much more amazing and enjoyable to live here.
Yeah, we came here in 2003. I grew up on the peninsula. I've been here in the San Francisco Bay Area all my life. My mother and her family have been here since before the turn of the previous century. I wasn't sold by Castro Valley initially, but I'll tell you, 17 years later, I can't think of a better place to raise a kid, raise a family, put down roots, become a part of the community. It's an incredible, best-kept secret, in my opinion. People, you tell them about where you live, and they go, "Where's that?" And it's kind of sandwiched in between Oakland and Hayward. And, it's getting more and more known.
Yeah, it is.
The housing costs are fairly reasonable, relatively speaking. I'd say relatively speaking because, let's be honest, there's many people that can afford $850,000 or $900,000 home. And not that everything costs that much here in Castro Valley, but it sure seems like it's creeping up every year. But it's just a really interesting little community, and there's a bunch of stuff that's coming up on the horizon for us.
Oh yeah.
I think when you think about the marketplace is a good example. That's going to be a game changer for us.
I hope so.
We have watched the Daughtry building slingshot through hand after hand and business after business since we got here, and there's always been a promise, but nothing's ever been delivered. And I would say that the developers that have come in, there's enough skin in the game now that they are going to make this work. I guarantee it. It's going to be incredible.
I hope so. Were you here when it was the pool hall?
I was, and I've watched it, more from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that were discussed about it becoming, and none of them I was super thrilled about. And when I heard what they were going to try to do with the marketplace, and I know about Alameda's marketplace. Mm-hmm. I've been there a couple of times over the years. It's
a good spot.
Yeah, it's a great spot. It's a little out of the way. I'm a semi-active elk. I'm part of the Elks community at the Alameda Lodge. Up until recently was the director of the youth program there. And it's not exactly an easy place to get to, from here. So you have to want to go there on purpose.
Yeah.
It's wonderful once you arrive, but it's a bit painful to get in and out of. And so it'd be wonderful to have something like that here. I'm looking forward to being able to spend more time in my own community. And not that I don't enjoy going downtown Oakland or out to the island or even, Pleasanton or Livermore for that matter. But, it'll be really wonderful to be able to just head downtown in my own town and be able to enjoy, what it has to offer. Whether it's the marketplace or Southern Comfort Kitchen or Don Jose's or Game Gigs or any of the other wonderful locally run, owned restaurants in our community. I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
Yeah, I well said, and I think you're not alone in that statement.
Yeah, I would be very grateful to get back to my gym.
Yeah,
my regular routine, and be able to head to a happy hour at the Doolittle on a Thursday afternoon or a Friday afternoon, and see the people that I see in that bar regularly, and other people downtown, because that's what makes this community so amazing. The people. Yeah,
it's the people.
Yeah,
the people here. It's I don't know if it's the fact that we're in a valley or what, but the people here are just so unique and different and huge-hearted and so involved in so many things in making this community better.
Yeah, I find, I was somewhat apprehensive to engage in the community for a number of years. I was busy with my career and raising a family, and now that I've got some cycles freed up and can lean into the community a little bit more, I find the more I do lean into it, the more interesting and the more dynamic it becomes. And it probably always was that way. I just didn't know it because I wasn't engaged in it.
Definitely. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for organizing this in your capacity with a great team of Todd Anglin and Ashley Strasburg, DB Duarte, and of course Mr. Blaine Torpy.
Yeah, I feel very blessed to again be rubbing shoulders with those human beings. I know I have plenty more to learn from them as time goes on, and I'm looking forward to working with each of them in various capacities as time progresses.
Good stuff. Thanks again for your time, Chris. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great night. Thanks again for the opportunity to tell a story.
My pleasure. Take care now.
Yep.
Bye-bye. So that was Chris Carr, who was one of the people who organized the banners that you see on Castro Valley Boulevard celebrating the graduates at all of our schools in Castro Valley. And Chris, both Chris and I covered this. It's such a tough time for students at every level who are missing out on all of the celebrations and the good times that have basically been erased due to the situation we are in with the pandemic. A couple questions. What will happen to them when they come down? I'm assuming Chris will take them. If I hear differently, I'll let you folks know. And John asked how much were they, and I think Chris mentioned that there were 30 that were purchased, and thanks to Chris and I believe 10 other donors, I think it was a couple grand. So it was not a cheap, I shouldn't say cheap, it was not an inexpensive project. And I thank Chris again for his time, and I will mention their names because I know all of them and they are all super people. Todd Anglin, he's probably listening, blushing. Todd, I love you, man. Todd does so much stuff with the Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce. He's your go-to insurance dude. Todd Anglin's he's good people. Ashley Strasburg with the Eden Area Chamber of Commerce is fantastic. I've known Ashley for a long time, involved in so many things. She's got skin in the game because she lives in Castro Valley. She went to Castro Valley High, and if I'm wrong on that, I'm pretty sure I remember that correctly. Great person. Blaine Torpy, Castro Valley High principal. I don't need to say anything about Blaine. You know Blaine is awesome. Mr. Torpy, thank you so much for everything that you do for the community. Who did I forget? Brian Santoni with the fire department, your killer. So yeah, that is a great thing. And if you're driving up and down Castro Valley Boulevard, give a look-see for the banners that are celebrating the. I forgot to mention BB Duarte with Halo. She also was involved in that. Sorry, BB. I've known BB for a long time. BB has worked on so many things behind the scenes, from the Castro Valley Car Show to the light parade to the chili cook-off. You name it, BB is there volunteering and helping make this community a better place. And with that said, there was just something else that I wanted to mention here to you guys in regards to, in case anyone is in need of food. Something just came on the radar last night through the USDA Farmers to Families Food Box Program. Marshall School will have for distribution 200 boxes of fresh produce. And the location for that giveaway will be the drive-through loop. That will happen every Saturday that actually started last week. So it's going to be every Saturday. And I apologize, I don't know the duration of the giveaway, but it will be this upcoming Saturday. And the time for that is 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And again, that's at Marshall School, Elementary School, 20111 Marshall Street, 20111 Marshall Street. The other thing that has been happening ongoing for a while, and this operation at Three Cross Church with their pantry is impressive. They have been doing a free drive-up food pantry every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. The line for this food pantry goes all the way through the parking lot up at Three Cross Church down to the boulevard. And it's kind of indicative of the times that we are living in, that there are definitely people in need. And they are giving out free boxes of food to anyone, no questions asked. And they're also doing home delivery. If you're a senior citizen or can't make it up there, give them a call at 510-560-3106 for assistance with that home delivery. They do have drivers who are making deliveries. And I think you could look them up online, but probably if you have any questions, your best bet is that telephone number for the Three Cross Church Food Pantry every Saturday at 9 a.m. And they are located at 20600 John Drive. That is Three Cross Church, the big three crosses. You can't miss them. Every Saturday at 9 a.m. Again, their number, if you have questions or if you need assistance with the home delivery, 510-560-3106. Leading to another phone number, which is the phone number here. If you would like to call, we're probably going to wind this up in a couple minutes. Give me a ring at 510-331-9112. We'll give a couple minutes if you want to call in. I had something else that I wanted to mention. The number here again, 510-331-9112. Feel free to interrupt my blathering with a call if you have a question, comment, concern. In regards to senior citizens and your neighbors, please check in on your neighbors. Let them know that you are concerned about them, that you're there, that you want to make sure they're okay. Especially the senior citizens, because the seniors their group is more susceptible to this virus, so they have to stay home more. Their ability to travel and move about is even more restricted than, the younger folks maybe. Please, if you can, check in on them. If you can give them a ring, call them on the phone. If you can knock on their door and be socially distanced at their front door or their window or their back porch, please check in on the senior citizens. Let them know you care about them. Ask them if they need anything. Offer some help. Give them some time and chat with them across the fence or from their driveway. We need to make sure that our senior neighbors and family members are going to be okay and make it to the other end of this crazy pandemic, this situation that we are in. There are so many things that have happened, that are still happening, that are really unprecedented. Yeah, I feel, unfortunately, that when the smoke clears on this, we're going to lose a lot of our businesses, and I hope we don't. Which will bring up another point that I wanted to bring up, is it's really, right now, it's really imperative that we plan ahead to not just check in on our senior neighbors and friends, to shop local, support our neighbors any chance that we get. And I know, given the fact that a lot of people may not be working, cash, it may be difficult to have discretionary funds, but please support our neighbors who are the local merchants. We need to do whatever we can to make sure that they make it to the other end of this situation that we're in. And since nobody has called in, I'll give you the number one more time. I don't have anything else I'm gonna bring up, so we'll wind it up after I give you the number: 510-331-9112 if you would like to call in. If you have a question, comment, concern, if you want to tell me to stop talking, that's acceptable. I'm going to call it a show. Thank you so much, Chris Carr, for calling in and giving us the lowdown on how those banners came about. And like I said, if you're going up and down Castro Valley Boulevard, keep your eyes on the road, but give a look-see to some of the light poles, the light standards. Those fancy, they are fancy, they are handsome. They're flags with the logos, the mascots of the schools in town, honoring the graduates from all of the schools, and some of the public schools and the private schools. And there's also Our Lady of Grace on there, and Redwood Christian are also included. So that has been said. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please keep the senior spotlights coming in. We love posting those. I had no idea that there were over 700 seniors at Castro Valley High. We've gone through maybe 180 of them. We'd love to get more in before graduation comes at the end of the week. castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. Send in those senior spotlights. Like I said, we have a couple of mailers left for those magazines. castrovalleytelevision@gmail.com. Castro Valley addresses only, and we'll send you 3. Share 2 with your neighbors. With that said, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. I am Robert. This is Castro Valley News Live. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'll be talking about things that are happening, sharing some love with our neighbors. As a community, I think Chris has just showed us we have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be happy about, and because of people like that in our community. And with that said, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro, and we will see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Stay safe and cool, everyone. See you next Tuesday.